I'm Pamela Portnoy.
I'm Alexa Marie Anderson.
And no one's okay. We're back.
We're back!
Welcome.
Hello all.
We're doing something different yet again.
Yeah, yet again. We just keep throwing different things at you guys in hopes that you'll like it.
Yes, I agree. And I think we're doing this because we like it. So
yeah.
Today I thought it would be fun to talk about films that we each have kind of personal experience, personal connections with. Just because I feel like, maybe it's because I've been spending a little more time with my family. I've been thinking about, how a lot of moments take place, in the living room, and how many movies I grew up watching, and not necessarily because they're subjectively like Oscar winners or anything like that, but because I have it's what I grew up watching, I have a connection to it somehow through friendships or something like that.
There's a lot of nostalgia around certain films.
Thank you for putting it eloquently.
Well, no, I knew you were getting to it.
Let me have some more coffee so I can wake up. But Alexa said what I meant to say.
Movies, yeah, there's so many movies for me that are nostalgic, and I know I didn't write them all down, obviously, because I don't have time. We don't have the time to talk about every single one of them.
It was really hard narrowing it down, actually.
Yeah, when we first talked about doing this, we're like, oh, we'll do 3 each, and I tried to write down 3, and I was like, but wait,
I love that you're like, let's do 3 each. Let's not do a lot each, and then you're the one that comes at me today. Well, I may have 5, maybe.
I didn't realize, I honestly didn't realize how many movies I connect with, and not for, like you said, because they're Oscar-winning films, because I've watched them with friends or family or had some other personal connection to it. Those are the heartfelt, they get you and they pull at your heartstrings, those types of films for certain
reasons. I'm not going to be able to quote one of my favorite poems. It's called The Invitation. It basically talks about how I want to know what lights you up, what lights your soul on fire. So what did you think of when we decided to tackle this? What was the first film that you came up with?
Okay, so the first film, I have to open my notes here. Haha. The one that immediately came to mind is Under the Tuscan Sun.
Okay, that's a good one.
I don't know what it is about that film. I think it's because I watched it once when I was homesick from school. And or not once, that was the first time I watched it, was when I was homesick from school. And ever since then, when I'm just not feeling well or I'm not feeling good, put that movie on, make myself a cup of tea, and I just I enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy that film every time I watch it.
I love that.
I also I want to go to Italy someday. So I also just love watching the terrain and all the houses and the people that she meet. I love and the food. I love watching people eat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I've been watching Stanley Tucci's Searching for Italy, or Searching for Italy. And so I feel the same way about that stuff. Anything with a picturesque landscape.
It's so beautiful. And I like the story too, because she starts over in a place that she knows nothing about, and she finds her way and finds a new place to call home. And I think I also connect with that, moving from the East Coast to LA and finding friends here and building my home and that kind of thing. So I find it very relatable as well. So that's why I enjoy it so much.
I just came up with this idea just now. So sorry to throw this at you. No, if there is one word that you would use to describe the feeling that you have while watching it, what would it be?
I would say It's very obvious, but I'd say joy.
Joy.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you are under the Tuscan sun?
I do. I do. Yeah, that movie brings me joy. And it's interesting because that movie, the storyline starts out with not a lot of joy, but
right.
It's the turnaround of it all that brings me so much joy. I think people love to watch a victory story.
Absolutely, they do.
Like it just makes you feel good. It makes you feel hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you feel very hopeful. It motivates me to keep going. A lot of times, I talk about that a lot, but there's so many times I watch films and it motivates me. I use it as a big motivator because it's the human experience.
Yeah.
It's helpful. It's relatable. It's like what we do. Like it's why we do what we do with podcasting is to connect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why. What's your film, Pam? I'm talking too much.
No, you're not. I think you're like so eloquent today. I'm just enjoying listening to you.
Thanks. It only happens once in a blue moon.
No, it's not true. It happens all the time. My first film that I came up with was Sabrina. It's the Julia Ormond, Harrison Ford, Greg Kinnear version. I think I've probably seen. I have that movie memorized. I know every single line, every single scene. Because my parents watched that movie all the time when I was growing up. Aww. And so it was just something that I grew up watching. And so like the second I hear the music, I'm immediately like taken back to my childhood and like sitting at my parents' like first house on their leather couch and just like wrapped up in a blanket that I still own. My picnic blanket is the one.
Oh, that's a good blanket. Trusty blanket.
My trusty blanket. Yeah. So for those of you who haven't seen it, check it out. I think the original version's with Audrey Hepburn, but I love me some Harrison Ford. So check out that version.
I was going to say, actually, I think I've only seen the Audrey Hepburn version. And I don't know why.
I would love for you to watch this one. It's
I don't know. I love Harrison Ford. I don't know why I haven't seen
this. You should check it out. It's great.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's your word? If you could describe it. One word to describe.
Well, the thing is, I don't want to use the same word for another one that I have in my head. Okay. So I'm going to try to come up with a different one for this one. I feel like nostalgia is like too broad. I would say like comforting.
I was gonna say. I don't know why I knew you were gonna say that. I was like comforting. I was
comforting. Yeah. And it's not because it's my favorite movie. It's just I have a very specific connection to that movie.
You know what question I hate? I hate when people ask me what my favorite film is. Because honestly, I have so many and it changes on the daily. I can't choose one. And it makes me frustrated because everyone's like, what's your favorite film? And I feel like everyone knows what their favorite film is. And I'm like, I don't know. I have like 5. And
so do I
might have like 5 more.
100% depends like really like how I'm feeling on a particular day, who I'm speaking to. Is it the answer I give myself privately or is it the answer I tell people? Like on this show, I've said my favorite movie is The Matrix, which is not a lie, but there are also like other movies that I would classify as my favorites as well. So it is a tough question because it is subjective and it has to do with the connection that you have to the film.
Yeah. I usually say for that question, and which is also on my list, I usually say Stand By Me. But mostly because of the nostalgia behind it. It's also a great film. But I haven't seen it. It's really good.
Okay. It's really I love that we haven't seen each other's first your second choice and you haven't seen my first choice.
I like that.
Okay, so like what does it take you back to? Stand
Well,
by Me.
this I have a connection to my dad with because it's one of his favorite films, and he's the one who introduced it to me. Um, and it's also the film that my friends and I would put on to fall asleep to at sleepovers.
Nice.
So it's like ingrained in my brain, especially after a scary movie.
Such a specific vibe, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, yeah. I have one that's like that, the sleepover movie.
Like particularly after we had like chosen to watch a horror film or something. You know, that's the thing to do. Watch with your friends. You guys are all together. You're sleeping over. So it's gonna be cool. We would put on that afterwards to like fall asleep too.
For me, that would be like Walk to Remember.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's not on my list, so we're not counting that. But that would be like one that I would put on my list because that would be the sleepover movie, A Walk to Remember.
I think it's the narration in Stand By Me that is so soothing. Like one of the
who are the actors in it?
One of their kids.
Oh, okay.
I don't even, this is terrible. I actually don't know their names.
It's completely fine.
But
this was supposed to be a very casual episode.
I'm not even gonna look it up. You can look
We're
it up
not giving you guys a history lesson in this episode. We're gonna like tell you just how we're gonna talk about our feelings.
This is where our hearts lie. This is where our hearts lie, okay? And I think, okay, and I want to make a point on that because Stand By Me is one of those films where I'm not watching it. We've talked about this before. A lot of times we watch films as actors with our actor brain.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I love Stand By Me because I watched it at such a young age that it was like my actor brain hadn't taken over yet. And so I can fully enjoy that film without thinking about all the technical stuff.
Yeah.
Which is really special. It's a special moment. So that's also why I really enjoy it. But the narration in that movie is really soothing, and if you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. One of the main characters, one of the young boys in the friend group. It's a group of boys that you kind of follow throughout the whole film. And he narrates it, but it's his older self like it's an older voice narrating it, and the narration is just, I love narration in films. So soothing.
It is definitely. What's the feeling that you get? What's the word?
Safe.
It's a good one.
I feel very safe. Yeah, I don't know. Safe. That's the first word that came to my mind, especially because when you're watching it to fall asleep, you have to watch something that you feel calm and comfortable and at ease with. So, and I think because it's a film that my dad likes, and I characterize my dad with the word safe as well in a way. This is my dad. I don't know what's happening.
I like it.
What's going on?
I like it.
What was your second one, or whatever number
we're on? For me is She's the Man. You guys, if you haven't seen this movie, treat yourself, because I think anyone could use this pick me up. It's a perfect quarantine watch. I watched it a couple months ago. Amanda Bynes, Channing Tatum. That movie brings me so much joy. It still makes me laugh to this day. It still like holds up. It's basically the Amanda Bynes remake of 12th Night, and it's so fucking funny. And I remember when I was going through a breakup when I was very young, I was at my friend Olga's house, and I was obviously upset. And she was just being a babe. I remember when I went through the breakup, like she brought me some chocolate, and she like spent a lot of time with me, you know, as girlfriends do. Yeah, when you're going through a breakup, you hang out, and you obviously I was still a kid at this time, so we weren't drinking the wine, but like we were having the chocolate and watching the movies. And I have like this image of me like sitting on her couch, hanging onto one of the like hugging one of the big pillows on her couch, under a blanket with her, eating chocolate and watching She's the Man, and just like laughing my ass off. And like the second like Eunice says that she likes cheese, like there's nothing wrong in the world anymore.
I love that you. It is such a good breakup film. Like if you're going through a breakup, that is the film to watch.
It is, and I watch it every single time.
It makes much more sense than what I do because I like to pour salt in the wound. I'll like watch a love story. I'll like put on The Notebook.
Oh,
and then cry.
It's too much. But the thing
is,
like,
a smart choice
with the breakup. It's like you can't like watch it the day of, when you're like, you're watching it when you're at the like, I'm tired of being sad time, and you're like, is there something that's going to make me feel better? You know, because at first you kind of got to lean into it and kind of like acknowledge it, accept it, give it some respect,
be dramatic,
you know. But then like you're like, okay, I need a little pick me up. I need a boost to start heading in a different direction. And for me, it's She's the Man. It's so fucking funny.
What's a film?
And Channing Tatum was super like fun to watch and attractive, and like it's amazing.
I don't condone what I'm about to say because I don't think it's healthy, but do you have a film that you watch when you just want to like wallow in self-pity?
When I want to wallow in self-pity,
you just want to be like, this is I need like some kind of,
yeah, probably Walk to Remember.
Yes.
Yeah. I that one is definitely a special one, because I will without a doubt like always be bawling to the point of like audible sobs.
Yes.
But I just think it's so beautiful, and Mandy Moore is so iconic as a Shane West in that film. Yeah. Yours is The Notebook?
Yeah, The Notebook, or when I'm feeling like I don't know, when I'm having a bad day, sometimes I turn on oh, it's on my list. What is it? I think I'm going to say it wrong actually. Oh no. A Week with Marilyn.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
I don't know what it is about that film that when I'm having like a moody, like just, or if I'm in my feels about like acting at all, I put that on.
Interesting.
Yeah. I did it the other week, and I just like lied on the couch and just cried and watched her in that. And I don't know. It's an interesting film because you see Marilyn go through such a like turbulent time in her life. So I don't know if that just like lets me emote in a way that I need to.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
You're kind of sitting with her.
Yeah. I want to go on an emotional roller coaster with somebody, and then so I turn that on.
Yeah. I like that.
It's interesting. It's an interesting choice, but
if I really want to get into my feels, I'll like put on Harry Potter. Yeah. Put on like something like,
yeah, like
one of the terrible like deaths, and just like get real riled up, and then watch people take revenge. I like revenge movies when I'm in that mood.
I could see that. I could see that. I could see that.
What else next?
I feel like so my next film is one that I feel like you might have as well.
Okay.
But I could be completely wrong.
Okay.
Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, you don't? Okay, interesting.
Not on my list.
Okay. But
I've seen it.
Yeah, I know you have, because we like to quote one of our favorite parts in that film is when they're eating pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Napoli.
Yes. What do we say?
Have you ever? What does she say? Have you ever been taken your clothes off in front of a man and he's asked you to leave? No. That's because he doesn't care.
He has a naked woman.
He has a naked woman
next
in
to
front of him.
He's won the lottery.
He's won the lottery. Eat the pizza. Eat the pizza. My favorite. I love it so much. I watch that when I need to feel like grounded because I feel like that's what she's going through.
The way you said that made me like picture you grounding yourself. Like, I need to go to my room and watch this now. I'm grounded.
I'm grounded.
Instead of like, I know what you meant, which is like, I'm grounded to the earth.
I mean, kind of like both. I'm putting myself away in my room and I'm watching Eat, Pray, Love.
I need a timeout.
I need a timeout. It's time for Eat, Pray, Love. Like, honestly, true. That's accurate. That's pretty accurate. But yeah, no, that's one of my favorite lines in that film as well. And Julia Roberts is, mwah.
She's always chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the, I almost put this on the list, which is one of the films that made me want to be an actor was Erin Brockovich, which of course is what she won the Oscar for.
Mm-hmm.
Because up until that movie, she was doing, all these rom-coms and like romantic films. And this is the first time I kind of saw her like this. And I was like, whoa, what's she doing? It's different.
What's happening?
And I loved it. And I was like, man, oh man, that's what I want to do.
I'm trying. Oh, you just made me think like, what if there's a certain film that I have that made me want to pursue acting? I feel like it wasn't a film. I feel like it was a musical.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It was definitely that. It was Sweet Charity, which is also a film. Shirley MacLaine. She's a doll. Huge idol of mine. Mm-hmm. There is a Sweet Charity film, which I watched in preparation for that show when I did that show. But yeah, that I think I fell in love with her character is really what made me want like a similar experience to what you
love
had.
That. I love
that's
that.
That's what does it.
It is what does it. Another one that was on my list was Pride and Prejudice, the Joe Wright version. That is also another film that my family and I have watched probably 100 times. I know all the lines. I also read the book and I love that book, but the music is very soothing. It's funny because it's one of those movies like my parents and I will put on and like my parents will end up sleeping, but like not because of the movies, but because it's so relaxing, the score and the scenery, and it's just lovely. And it's such a like classic love story. And I thought all the actors were amazing. And when I put on that movie, I feel soothed.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like movies are a type of therapy for our brains because we're watching other humans go through? They're obviously heightened situations, but they're relatable situations. I don't know. I'm asking. Like,
I feel curious. Like this whole episode is like a therapy session, and we're talking about like how we relate to certain films. Yeah, for sure. I think they're therapeutic. I don't think films are like a substitute for therapy, listeners. Like, I feel like, mental health is important, but like I think there's a therapeutic quality.
Saying.
No, totally. There's a definite therapeutic quality, I would say, for sure.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like deeper into it, more or less like, yes, nostalgia, but like why our brain processes the information like that is because we're watching other humans live, or we're vicariously living through them at some times on the screen. I don't know. Just a thought I had.
No, definitely. I think so. It is interesting. thinking about what we respond to, and what kinds of characters we really like resonate with. Yeah. There's something to that for sure.
I think that's why I have a hard time with fantasy films a lot, because I have a harder time connecting with films like that. I enjoy them for the entertainment, but I think as a human, I seek out connections in like every facet of my life. So I don't connect with fantasy. Like I'm not a huge, everyone hates me, not a huge Harry Potter fan.
Why would we hate you?
Not hate me, but like everyone's gonna be like.
What I will argue is that there is so much to connect to in those films because they're about love and friendship and conquering racism and just like very human, but maybe because it's placed in a world that is pushing the boundaries of the real, maybe that's why, which is totally plausible.
I think my innate reaction is to like not connect with it, but if I really like put my mind to it and like think about like what you're saying, how things can be related to things that happen in those films can relate to friendship and loyalty and racism, as you were talking about, all those things, I totally get it. Just realism always hits me harder.
Totally. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you have any others that you brought?
I have one other. This was my last one that I didn't know we would have time to talk about. And I don't even know if anyone has ever seen this. No, I'm sure you have, maybe. Love the Coopers.
I haven't seen it.
It's a Christmas film. I probably wouldn't have seen it if I wouldn't have worked on it. It was filmed in Pittsburgh. If you're from Pittsburgh, it's an awesome city. It's a pretty awesome city. And they do film a lot of things there. It's a good city to film in. But it was filmed in Pittsburgh and I worked on that film. And I had the most awkward moment. I don't even want to use the word I met. I embarrassed myself in front of Diane Keaton.
Why? How?
Because I walk into the trailer, the makeup and hair trailer, and I like walk by her and I do a double take. So I'm like, is that her? Is she in our trailer? Like, what's going on? And first of all, the woman is my spirit animal because she was pouring wine into a coffee mug. And I was like, yes.
Wow.
This is what dreams are made of. But I sat down and she looks over at me and she goes, who are you? Do I know you? And words aren't coming out of my mouth. Like nothing can happen. Like I'm trying to speak, like my mouth goes to move and nothing's happening. And the other girl that I was working with, who I was playing her body double, she's like, oh yeah, she's blah, 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 and answers for me.
For those of you just listening, Alexa just gave that most epic, like eye-crossing, embarrassed face.
I'll never live that moment down, guys.
Oh my goodness, do you hear that? That's on my end.
What is that?
That's a fire engine.
Oh. It sounded like music for a second. I was like, is someone dancing?
Yeah, for our people listening that are driving, don't worry. It's not behind you. It's on my end. Apologies. That was the response, the universe's response to you not speaking to Diane Keaton.
It's so embarrassing. I just want to. I honestly just want to crawl in the hole. Someone spoke for me. It's fine. I'm fine about it. But yeah, that movie. Every time I see it on TV or watch it, I think of that moment.
Amazing.
It's not great, but it's kind of funny, I guess. Maybe, hopefully, I get to meet her someday, and I can be like, "Hey,
that's
funny story for you."
I know exactly how you feel, man. When I was a server, I waited on this wonderful gentleman who was super kind to me, and we were joking around a lot. And someone was rude to me, like at his table, and he kind of like told them off, but like in a funny way, and was like, we were in cahoots, and it was wonderful. And then I got super busy with a bunch of other tables. The rush came in, and I didn't really get to connect with him that much. But I remember closing him out and closing his table out, and he left. And when I'm going through my receipts, this is so embarrassing. I'm going to want to cut this out.
I mean, I wasn't audible. Diane Keaton asked me who I was, and I said nothing.
I looked down at the receipt, and it said Steven Spielberg.
I would have shit my pants.
And he left. And I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I kind of idolized Steven Spielberg.
I mean,
at that moment in time, like I had like, I used to have like magazine photos of like his still images on set on my walls. I had like, I think one of my phone backgrounds must have been something from Catch Me If You Can. Like, I know what he looks like. I just think maybe there was something in my head happening that protected me from looking like a fucking moron. Like, I feel like my brain knew that if it like was him, I would have done something dumb. And so my brain's like, let's just like not let her realize.
did you think in your head like it's someone that just looks like him, or did you have no thoughts about it?
No thought about it at all.
That's so weird.
And then after dark? I saw, no, it's not even about that. My brain just didn't register. Maybe some part of my head did, and it was just so outrageous to me that it was trying to protect me, because I saw the receipt, and then I immediately started bawling, and I'm like, I can't believe I just met and hit it off with someone that is like one of my role models, and I didn't even fucking recognize him. And I was like replaying the whole thing in my head, and I was like, of course that was him. Of course that was him. Like, looked like him, dressed like him, spoke like him. It was so kind, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about him. And I just my brain is doing like what the talking that's coming out of my mouth is doing right now. It was just like and like I wanted to go home. I was so upset, because I don't even know what I would have done if I had like recognized him in the moment. And maybe I wouldn't have been free to like joke around with him as much, or like laugh as much with him, because maybe I would have been so nervous. And so now in the future, knock on wood, I will meet him one day, and I will have a great story, and I know what he drinks. So
I was gonna say, I think it's good that you didn't know, or else you would have had maybe the same experience that I had.
I was humiliated, because how do you not recognize someone that is like a role model to you?
But to be honest with you, it's not even like he's gonna know that you didn't. If anything, you look badass, because he doesn't know. Maybe you did recognize him, and you just acted chill about it. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Unless he listens to this
Unless
podcast.
He's listening right now. Hey.
Which, hi.
Yeah, I felt so dumb. So I know how that feels. And one day I'll get to redeem myself, hopefully.
I'm happy words came out of your mouth, at least. That's good.
Well, the thing is, like, they probably, who knows if they would have.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like it was a good thing that you didn't recognize him, because I full on knew that was Diane Keaton, and I was geeking out. I wanted to be like, I think if something was going to come out of my mouth, it was going to be like, I love you.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done if I recognized him. Who knows? I would have probably like spilled drinks everywhere. I would have made like a mess. I would have been like, what do you like what was I okay, first of all, like, what was I supposed to do? It would not have been cool for me to be like, hey, like
that's what I'm saying. So I feel like he doesn't know that you didn't recognize him. You were just like a chill girl that was like, here's your drink.
I just like can't compute how I didn't recognize him because I know his face. I know what he looks like. It was just some weird shit happened in my head, I think. Let's protect her from being an idiot.
It's all good.
She's not going to recognize until after he leaves. And at least I know we get along and he's lovely and funny and fun.
It's all good. It's a story for the memoir.
Good
That's
talk. I never thought I would bring that up. That was pretty embarrassing. I should have brought that up for my embarrassment episode.
I had that thought when I was writing down these films. I was like, oh, I probably should have brought this up in the embarrassment episode, but
that's funny. Those are good stories.
Here we are.
I
think it was just really embarrassing that I was like, do I really want to? Do I really want to go there? But now everybody knows.
Here we are.
My
last one was Practical Magic, but I think I've spoken about that one before. My little 7-year-old hand is in it. But I also like watch that movie with my friend Olga all the time. We make margaritas and watch that. And it's just it's one of those films that like makes you really proud of being a woman. It's like a very like female empowering like film, and it makes you like want to lean into your intuition more, and it makes you want to lean into your like witchy powers, because everyone's got some sort of witchy powers. So I love that one too. It's a fun one. Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman, check it out.
Great duo, honestly.
Beautiful duo. Alexa, you okay?
I am not okay.
Why?
I'm feeling calm. Yeah, I'm having a very calm day, which is good. Yesterday I was it's like a completely different day than, obviously it's a completely different day than yesterday. It's because today is Tuesday. So very good. Yesterday I was super anxious. Super anxious all day. Really was struggling with that. So much
Why
so where
were you anxious?
Sometimes it usually happens on like my first, the first day I have off after working. I don't know if it's just the change in energy, because
you don't know how to settle down and relax.
Yeah, I don't know how to settle down and relax and take time for myself. Like I took a bubble bath and I was like anxious in the tub. I was like, I don't know. And I was playing music, which usually calms me. But then I was like, no music today. I just need to sit here in silence.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
Well, also like we're still in a pandemic. Let's not forget.
Right. We do forget though. You know what I mean? Like you do forget and you start to have expectations for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you just get anxious, you're like, why am I anxious? And then you remember everything that's happening.
Oh yeah, I have reasons.
Yeah. You're like, oh, wait a second. I do have reasons to be anxious right now. But yeah, so it was just a very unsettling day yesterday. Nothing, not the usual things weren't really helping me. Actually, shout out to Katie Bellotti. I watched some of her vlogs yesterday that actually helped me calm down a bit. She has
such soothing YouTube videos.
Yeah, I needed that. After my bath, I went to the couch and I put on Katie, and that really was helpful. Watching her pick furniture for her apartment was quite lovely. But today is a completely different change in energy. I feel quite calm and it's good.
You look calm. Like you look like you're the picture of like cozy, but also like stylish.
I have a giant sweatshirt on.
Yeah. Like you look cozy, but also like stylish.
Thanks.
And you changed up where you're sitting. You're in your living room. I can tell by the green curtains.
I'm in a chair, a big fluffy chair.
Good.
Yeah. I was like, I wanted to be comfortable talking about our movies,
Our cozy movies.
our cozy movies. I wanted to be cozy while talking about cozy movies.
Very good. Very good. I should have probably done that, but alas, I did not.
No,
That was a great story, Pam. All right.
everything's great. Are you okay?
No, I also was feeling anxious yesterday. I haven't been feeling like there's been no middle ground. I've either been feeling amazing or like really anxious and sad. And yeah, I've just been trying to take extra good care of myself. Like I know that certain things need to happen for me to function at my best when it comes to mental health. Like I know I need to get a workout in. I know I need to drink a lot of water. I know I need to get good sleep, even though I did not last night, which is why I'm so low energy today, guys. I apologize. Um, yeah, I couldn't fall asleep till after 3 last night. And then I just randomly woke up before 9 and I was just kind of like, why? Um,
Why are we here?
why
What's
are
happening?
we awake? What's happening? But I did do something really kind of great. In my apartment, I have a bar cart. Alexa, you've been in my apartment, you know.
Yes. It's a lovely bar cart.
I moved it out of my living room into my kitchen.
I thought you were going to say into my room, and I was like,
no, it's in my room. Cocktails in bed. That like
you've inspired me. Mine's on wheels. I'm rolling it in.
Can you imagine? I mean, to each his own, man. Like we're still technically in a pandemic. Fuck it.
I applaud anyone. If you have a bar cart in your room, I want to know about it. Please let us know.
Please comment below. Yes. I put it in my kitchen, and so now it's kind of an extension of my counter. And I transformed it into kind of like a coffee bar / regular bar.
Okay.
It really opened up my living room. It feels a lot bigger. There's a lot more light coming in. And I'm liking it. I was watching Because I Said So the other day with Mandy Moore and Diane Keaton.
Such a good film.
Yeah, I was watching that one, which I haven't seen in many years. And I saw them like moving the furniture around a lot because that's like one of their things. They like to like rearrange furniture. And I was like, I'm going to try this. And I just did it without even thinking, like spur of the moment. And I'm like very happy with the results.
I was going to say, you probably get a lot more light coming in now that you moved that, because it was in front of the window kind of.
Yes.
Covering.
Yes. And so, and it goes very well with my new pledge to be a better plant mom. I'm propagating avocado seeds. Alexa, I'm a changed woman. I got a cookbook. I got Stanley Tucci's cookbook. I made like a puffy pancake this morning. Like I'm baking things, I'm cooking things. Like, who am I? Am I Martha Stewart? What's happening?
I'm coming over. Please make me some food.
I'm like leaning into making my home life as comfy and enriching, fulfilling as possible. And I'm not saying you can't have those things or be those things if you can't cook or tend to your plants, because your home is your home. But I've just been trying to learn new things. I've been knitting, I've been cooking, I've been taking care of my plants. These are all things I wanted to do, but I've always been putting off. And I feel like it's happening. Like last night before bed, I was like winding down and I was reading Stanley Tucci's cookbook, and I was like marking the pages of things that I wanted to make.
I love looking through cookbooks. It brings me so much joy.
It was so nice, so soothing.
And then you get excited about making it, and you make it fun. You know, you pour yourself a glass of wine, you get all the ingredients together. Like it's like it's like crafts.
It is like crafts. And one thing that I really like responded to that he wrote, he wrote this cookbook. He's written more than one. He wrote this one with his wife, and they have like funny little excerpts and they tell stories of where the recipes come from. And it's really inspired me to start gathering recipes from my family and my friends. And I'm going to make my own cookbook, and I'm going to hound you for the lemon risotto recipe.
I got you.
Okay.
You just made me think of my family. We do have we have a cookbook. My aunt made it. It's like of all of our recipes, and it's dedicated to my grandma, my mom's mom.
I just think that's so
Cute.
nice because that way, like
Yeah.
these, you know, these recipes are like part of like family traditions. And like,
Yep.
regardless how you feel about that, like I think it's nice. I've always meant to put one together. And I'm not even like that big of a cook. And I just got started really, but I've like for years been wanting to like consolidate my grandmother's recipes in one place. And I think I'm gonna just start doing it this week. But I'm
I like
also
that.
gonna not only add my family recipes, my recipes, cocktails. I'm gonna also put
Oh,
in
yeah.
my friends' recipes. Like I want your lemon risotto recipe. My friend Claire has an amazing recipe for like kebab. She has this like marinade that's like to die for. She gave me the
Oh,
recipe
that
a
sounds
while
good.
ago. That's going in there. I'm on a mission.
I like
I'm
it.
doing it.
I'm a full believer that cooking enriches your life in so many ways because it gives you it's a skill, gives you something to do. It's also healthier than ordering food.
Mm-hmm. You don't know
Uh,
what goes in
no,
food that is, and I order in all the time, but like
I do. I mean, I
there
do
is something
too.
nice about like knowing exactly,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of rewarding to know that you made this thing.
Yeah, it's it's something you can be proud of, honestly.
I made a very puffy pancake today,
Ooh, I
and not
like
like
that.
on the pan. I baked it. I made like this
Is it
mixture
the
and I baked it, and
yeah?
it puffed up, and
Is
I
it
was
a
like, it's amazing
what are
science.
they?
I put it in the oven and it puffed up.
What do they call that? Like a Dutch baby?
Yeah, that's exactly what I made.
Yeah, I
I
love
had
it.
it with
Mhm.
I didn't have the whole thing. If my my trainer slash friend is listening, I did not have the whole thing. I
Only
just had a piece.
only half of the Dutch baby.
Literally only half. Uh, and I put some raspberry jam on it and it was so
Ooh.
good.
You know what's also good? Lemon curd.
Yum.
The Dutch baby with fresh berries.
I love lemon curd on scones.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when we went to Galentine's Day tea?
Can we go back? That was so
Yeah,
fun.
let's go.
That was so fun.
I think it's open again. We should go. Um,
Yay.
this was my answer was too long. I apologize, but I'm excited about doing these like cozy things that bring me comfort. Like there are so many things we don't have control over, but like I know if I put this particular mixture in the oven, it's gonna puff up. I
Yes.
know that if I, let this mixture simmer for a certain amount of time, it's gonna taste this way.
Mm-hmm.
There's comfort in that.
Totally. That's why I was like cooking everything and baking everything during quarantine. When I was home in Pittsburgh for those 2.5 months, my dad was concerned. He's like, "We're out of flour, Carla. Is she gonna be okay?" Like,
I
like,
have flour in my apartment now, Alexa.
Yeah. See? It's crazy.
What's happening?
Yeah, I couldn't stop baking things because you're right. It's a sure thing. You know, if you mix these ingredients together, you follow the recipe, it's going to come out as a cake.
Yeah.
It's very comforting.
Yes.
Very comforting.
That's also a Julie and Julia quote. We stole that.
It is. Another film that I've talked about before that probably should be on the list, but yes.
Speaking of Stanley Tucci. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking spectacular.
That is a dream team in that film. Oh,
so good. I love Chris Messina, Amy Adams, Meryl. I mean, those 4 actors, spectacular. This was probably the longest "Are You Okay" segment ever, but
sorry,
it was needed.
Sorry, not sorry.
Not sorry at all. I loved it. Very good. Anything else before we say goodbye?
If you haven't seen the films on our list, go watch them.
Go watch them.
You'll like them.
They'll make you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're all looking for new sensations and comfort and soothing vibes.
New sensations. I like that. I feel like that should go on someone's like dating profile. Looking for new sensations.
Yikes.
It sounds like
It's what I'm gonna say on my next date. Anyway, we're gonna go now.
We're gonna go. And on that note, ta-ta.
We love you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all the things. If for some reason you want to see more of us, you can follow us on Instagram at NoOne'sOkay.
And a special thanks to Jordan Ross Weinhold, Sean Moore, Jason Crow, Claire Palmer, Jackson Palmer, Tiffany Haymoff, Shane Rings, James Liddell, and our podcast is recorded at Soundworks Studios.
We can't wait to meet you!